Hello, I'm Adriana. I'm a Master SoulPath Teacher and Guide. We're going to look at messages from your higher guidance, what you need to know right now. Okay. So if you could just shift into your center right now, really go deep into your heart space. Take a few breaths in there. I'm going to do the same so that we're drawing these cards, we're drawing this energy from that space of love, of open-heartedness, asking for information that is for our highest good, and that is also going to resonate with what is in our true hearts. Okay. I'm going to start with those actually. We're going to draw the next four in a second. This is a modified Celtic cross reading. So modified I say because I put my own little take on it. Okay. Circumstance or your energy is strength. This is the energy of compassion, of understanding the different forms of strength, that sometimes strength means brute force or being blunt or saying the hard truth, but sometimes strong is actually about being more giving or forgiving, more flexible, pliable. This card really inspires us to have courage in our situation. And it's funny, we were all focusing on our hearts, and she's got a figure 8 right around her heart. This is the power of the heart. And I feel like right now this is a discovery for you, feeling and understanding what the power of the heart really is. There is a true test of strength in front of you. There is a true test of courage. Do you have what it takes to step up to this moment? And your energy right now, or I'm sorry, not your energy, but the kind of the cross of this, the challenge here is the Four of Swords. Interesting. I had bears in my dream last night. We've got 3 little bears sitting here. I wonder why there's not 4. These bears here and the energy on this card are really talking about seeking out your own inner wisdom, the need for rest, the need for solitude, the need for pulling yourself back into yourself. So this energy is calling you out. This energy is pulling you in. So really, this is about finding inner strength. Okay, and that's really interesting because sometimes inner strength means walking away from fights. Sometimes inner strength means not even engaging. It means turning and walking away. There are times to really assert your presence and assert your force. If someone's really encroaching on a boundary, or it's just, there are different times. I don't feel like this is one of those times. I feel like this is about tapping into and discovering your true inner strength. What do you need to believe? What do you believe about yourself without having to prove it to anyone else? That's what true strength is, when you don't have anything to prove. So if there's something that you don't fully believe about yourself, or there's a kink or a chink in what you believe about yourself, or you find yourself having to really... So if you could look at areas in your life where you feel extra defensive, that is a clear indication that you're not truly connected with your inner strength about this one issue. Okay, so that is a moment of self-reflection that you're going to have to take. Where do I feel defensive? Because that's the clue. That's where I'm not feeling as strong as I could feel. At the bottom of this, the root of this, I should say, what's going on in your subconscious, 10 of Cups. So this has to do with your place in a family, in your family of origin when you were growing up. It could be that you were not supported in a certain way, and so you have, or that your family maybe made fun of a weakness that you had. What else is going on? Interesting that the salmon on this card is upright in the cup, and in here he's more horizontal. So he's resting here, but he's awake here. So this is about awakening an inner knowing or an inner wisdom about where you did not feel safe and therefore did not feel strong. I've never noticed that the little girl in this photo just kind of looks like a pumpkin. She's got orange and green on. So I believe this does have to do with relationships, how people in relationships see you, or how you think people in relationships see you, and what does that really mean for yourself? Is there anything else? The mother is also really sticking out, so I'm being really drawn to the feminine energy. So it might also have to do with how you were mothered or not mothered. So were you mothered in a way that allowed you to develop and feel confident in your inner strength? Or were you mothered in a way that kind of kept you feeling weak and dependent in certain areas? Sometimes when we're over coddled or we're over nurtured, it can actually create more weakness and dependence. And I'm feeling like it'd be interesting to see what other cards come out, but there's something about reclaiming this feminine power of inner strength, but through the hard work of the masculine. So again, if you're like, okay, yes, I feel defensive when someone calls me this, or when someone says I'm that, yeah, I feel really defensive about that. Part of you believes it's true. So the process is to ask yourself, is that true? And if it is, what are the steps I can take to work against that? What can I take to strengthen where I feel I'm weak? So if you're weak in one area, that's really a desire to become strong in a different area. So how can I bridge that gap? That's what we're talking about. The conscious energy that you're putting forward is Prince of Wands. So we are talking about the inner child. But this is also, again, that very gentle masculine energy, because Prince Wands would be our masculine energy here. The inner child that is unafraid to grow, that is really willing to take risks and really willing to develop strength. It's funny here that the lion is a playmate. In this card with the woman, he's more of a talisman. So what is going on? I do believe that you are actively manifesting and you are actively working to increase your strengths, to increase your feelings of courage. The interesting part about all of this is the root of this problem is from the family, and so it's the child self that is trying to rectify this situation. So I think this is important to understand that this goes all the way back to childhood. This is something that your inner child is really trying to overcome so that it can graduate up to the next level. We've got the Lovers in the immediate past and the Ace of Pentacles in the immediate future. I would like to clarify the Lovers, please. Chariot. Okay. What are you trying to tell us with the Lovers? Interesting. So this card truly is talking about the joining and the balance. I'm really drawn to the way they're joining hands within this chalice. So joining forces. So it does look like we're looking at a relationship in the past, but what did this... Okay. Just give me a second here so I can make this connection. Okay. Divine guidance brought you here to this place where you find yourself questioning, and when you find yourself having to challenge, again, these defensive or what you feel maybe weaker parts of yourself, that this was all definitely orchestrated by your higher self. It's funny, we've got the angel on top blessing these two coming together. This is really, again, about learning what your strength and your wholeness is. Yeah, I'm sorry. I find this really fascinating because I had bears and swords in my dream last night, and that's exactly what we have on this Four of Swords card. This is a little bit gruesome, but in my dream, these women that on one hand were very nurturing and supportive and kind of sweet towards the men in their life were also like these warrior women who would go and hunt bears with these huge swords. And the dream was trying to show me that you can integrate these different sides of the feminine and masculine. You can be caring and warm and giving and still fierce and ferocious and take care of yourself when you need to. And that's what's going on in the strength card. So I feel like that has a message for this reading too, that in the true building of inner strength, you're allowing the feminine, the soft and giving, loving, heart-centered energy to combine with the masculine, the protective, the strong physically, the mental strength, the did I say protection? I'll say it again, the protective energy, so that we learn how to be self-protective, self-sufficient, but also empathetic and warm and reaching out to others with caring and focus. So I feel like that's what's happening. And in the future, we have the Ace of Pentacles. And what this says is that this is going to help you build a much more solid foundation for relationships in the future. So if you're in a relationship now and you see kind of these dynamics at play, this is like a restart, or your foundation is going to be strengthened. And if you're not in a relationship, this time of soul searching is helping you really lay the groundwork for a very supportive, healthy relationship in the future. So let's go into the rest of these cards here. We have advice from the higher self, external influences, desired outcome, and highest potential. Okay, Emperor. Cups. Pentacles, Ace of Cups. Okay, so this is the advice from your higher self. This is about really opening your heart, really dropping into that heart space, allowing yourself to fill with love and appreciation for yourself. That is how the strength card comes to life. That is how she derives her strength, is from the inner love and appreciation and belief that you have in yourself. And you'll notice in this Ace of Cups, it's overflowing with water. That is symbolic of the fact that we have to fill up our own cups, our own chalices first, and then we give love to others. And you know what tends to happen is that because we don't think we're enough, we forego filling up our own cup, and then we just give to others and give to others, and then we become depleted. And we then form resentments, or we form burnout, or we form all of these different ideas about the pressure that we're under, or how much everyone needs from me, or how much I have to give. And that's not true strength. That's not true love, and that's not true giving. It all has to start from here. And the other thing to remember is that there is so much love for us from the non-physical dimensions, from our higher self, from our guides, from Source itself. And if you believe in angels and guardian spirits, those as well as our relatives and ancestors who have crossed onto the other side. There is so much love available. And sometimes, I know it seems kind of funny, but sometimes we have to ask them to help us remember our own love for ourselves, because we can get so dark and so down that we forget how to connect. And so, asking your higher self, can you connect me with my self-love? Can you show me how that really feels? Can you show me how my soul really feels about myself? It's a very strange thing. We're really trying to bring in more and more of our higher dimensions when we're asking that question. Because even though we have words for them, higher self, guides, guardians, all of that is really just pure love, unconditional love. We as humans need to relate to it in those different facets because the meaning helps us really kind of focus and attach onto it. I should say focus. I don't like the word attach. Focus onto these different frequencies that are represented by the higher self, the guides, source. But really, it's all just this ever expanding love flowing in, flowing, letting us know that there is an order, there is reason behind what's going on. So our job on earth is to embody that love, embody that strength. And that's the foundation of where we have to go. And I want to just mention quickly, we've got a full moon on the 10 of Cups. We also have the full moon on the Ace of Cups. We've got a couple weeks to go till the full moon, or maybe just a week. I lose track of time, so don't count on me for the correct thing there. But the point is that this is going to be a full moon in Capricorn opposite the sun in Cancer, which is all about nurturing and love. So this is very apropos for now. External influences, Queen of Pentacles. You have a wonderful grounding support in another person, someone who's very connected to the earth, I want to say, very nurturing, very loving, someone who really fosters growth and is in touch with nature, but she's also very much in touch with her heart. This is someone who has mastered giving to herself before giving to others. And it could be a masculine energy as well, someone male who shows up with more of this Queen of Pentacles energy. And I feel like this energy, the Queen of Pentacles, is asking you, and I think for some this actually may be a relative, might be crossed, might be on the other side, but she's reminding you of what you are capable of. She's reminding you of your own strength. She's reminding you of everything that you have kind of going for you, and she's urging you to believe that for yourself. So this is really wonderful, maturely supportive energy behind you. Now, you would like, you're in the mood for a celebration here. There's a desire to share with others. There's a desire to connect in a very joyful, convivial way with others. What does this have to do with what we're talking about now? Where is the connection? It's sometimes easiest for you to give and share with others more than it is easy enough to give to yourself. And, I think you can relate the two together. So the joy you feel when you're out and you're giving and you're sharing and there's this wonderful flow and everyone's contributing, that could also be a desire that's coming on right now, the desire for community, the desire for other people that are like-hearted, I want to say. But I shouldn't say but. What else is coming here? I'm going to go beyond the traditional meaning of this card, which actually I usually do in these things. It's kind of a blend depending on where I feel we need to go with the energy. But I feel like this is actually a card that's talking about unification of yourself. So this could be representing mind, body, spirit. It could past, present, future. There's a triptych that you're trying to unify within yourself, and that's really fascinating to me. Can you tell me a little bit more about what this triptych or trio type of energy is? King of Cups, Queen of Swords. Okay, so that's two. What's the third? Queen of Swords is the mental domain, the pure clarity of thought, the independence. So it's, in a short, this is about the head and the heart. So I'm not, what is the third thing? Okay, the third thing is spirit, because this is like mind, this is soul, and then the combination is spirit. So we're going to do that here, because it's in connecting your mind and heart together, opening your heart up to what your mind is saying, and more importantly, opening your mind to what you're, hang on. The most important is to open your heart. No, the most important thing is to open your mind to what your heart is saying and feeling, as well as the other way around, because it's when you're listening, when both are in balance, the queen and the king, that the spirit energy manifests. Okay, and what do I mean by spirit energy? Source energy, unconditional love energy. See, unconditional love is a tricky concept because people tend to think it means love no matter what happens to you, kind of just take on whatever happens to you. It's almost like people go to the martyrdom place with it. But unconditional love has to do with seeing exactly what's going on and loving anyway. Okay? So if someone is being harmful to you, unconditional love doesn't mean you just love them anyway and minimize and ignore what they're doing. No, the Queen of Swords, the mind detaches and discerns what's going on with them, how they're treating you. King of Cups understands that their reason for doing what they're doing is because they're disconnected from their own hearts. They're disconnected from their own truth and their own higher self. I think that's what I'm trying to say. This is the mix of truth and love. That's where we get spirit from. Okay, that was a little roundabout there. But so, and then together, these two make a plan. King of Cups says, well, I value myself, I love myself, so I would like myself protected. Queen of Swords says, okay, then we need to cut this person off, or we need to make a boundary, or we need to not get involved. But King of Cups says, I'm still going to send that person love, but from a difference. Why? Because it feels good to send love. It does not feel good to withhold love. But love doesn't mean that you have to involve yourself in the person if they're not in a good place right now. It also means loving without expectation. And I think that's another thing. People are like, well, if I love them hard enough, they'll come back. Or if I love them hard enough, they'll stay with me. Unconditional love actually lets them go. The sword, it cuts them off. It detaches. And it's not that you're pushing the other person away. It's that you're allowing them, you're respecting their free will. You're respecting their freedom of choice. And you're giving them freedom. And that's really the highest form of love, I think, is giving someone or a being their freedom to choose what they want to do. It's wonderful when they decide to choose us. But the real gift, the real love comes in releasing. Whoa, wow, that was a big message. Okay, highest potential outcome is the Emperor. This is our integrated masculine energy. This is the energy of all four kings, the wisdom of the heart, the mind, the material world, and the spiritual world. But what is exactly going on with this card? Can you give me a little bit more? Two of Wands. So again, we're talking about building the future. And even though the masculine is highlighted here with the Emperor, it's interesting because he's sitting down. He's not active. So the masculine provides the support. And I do think that a lot of this journey you're on right now is about healing the masculine energy. And again, I'm going to pull us back to the beginning. It's about finding that inner strength, That's where we're going to heal the masculine energy. Unbalanced masculine energy likes to posture, likes to pretend it's not strong where it's strong. It's cocky, it's arrogant, it's full of itself, it's secretly scared, right? But this is about learning the inner strength and learning how to pull together our different polarities, our different essences. And a lot of it is done through the heart, because the heart is really the center of alchemy. And I'm drawn to looking at the Emperor. He's got a ram breastplate right across his heart, which is Aries. It's a big symbol for Aries. So this is about solidifying the love of self. This is solidifying the love of self so that you can give and benefit others. He's got, if you look at his hands, he's got one open and one receiving, one giving. And so he's perfectly balanced between masculine and feminine polarities. Again, with the horses, dark would be the feminine, masculine would be the intellect, the light. So he's perfectly balanced between those different polarities. So even though he is showing up as a strong masculine energy, he still has that feminine knowledge of balance and flow, giving and receiving. Okay, have we covered everything we need to cover? Is there anything else? And interesting, with the Two of Wands, she's got the zodiac wheel behind. I'm sure it's probably too small to see on the camera, but the one right at the top is the Aries glyph, the ram horns. So this is like the journey to the self. This is the journey back to the self. This is our Ace of Pentacles. Love that, right? These two wands are shooting out of a star, and then the star is shooting out that energy. So I do feel like this is an important building block. This is an important step in your journey right now. And don't miss it. Because if you don't have a strong foundation, you can't build anything on top of it. So this is a really important step for you at this time. All right. If you would like a reading from me, please feel free to reach out, soulguidancewithAdriana.com. I also do astrology, soul-guided astrology, and soul-guided spiritual mentoring. So again, soulguidancewithAdriana.com, and I will see you soon.